Welcome to Cyclops is Waiting for Me, an X-Men animated recap podcast with Wolverine The X-Men, episode 19, Guardian Angel. I'm JC, and Rod, I feel like both of us could use one right now.
Oh, that's a good point. I don't have any alcohol in the house.
I meant a Guardian Angel.
Oh. I'm listening.
It's perfect. That's the perfect way to start.
I guess how we know we're millennials when you hear need one is always like a shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm Rod. I don't know how much of my background is visible right now, but I'm moving. So
it's pretty clear. When you just moved your head over, there are boxes right behind you. Yeah.
There's boxes. I know the Mortal Kombat machine is usually lit up. It is all wrapped up right now in blankets and shrink wrap. Lucy is doing pretty well considering her whole world is literally being turned upside down.
Yep.
So hopefully, I was going to say, like, we're on week 3 of Chaos with Rod, because the last 2 were my thing.
Your mouth exploded.
Oh, well, the good news. So far, so good. I went to the follow-up after our last recording, and he was like, okay, everything looks good now. Although it did look good last time, too. So I'm supposed to go for another follow-up, like, in 6 months. But in between now and then, if another weird thing happens, I'm supposed to let them know. But so far, knock on wood, we're doing all good. And anyway, so now we come back for a third week where we're supposed to be normal. But I did not plan to move this week. But speaking of mutants, it turns out my place has like a massive mold infestation, so that's great. So I started looking for a place, and that happened like the day before my birthday. Also, I'm 43 now.
Yeah, you're old now.
Yeah. And so I went to go look for a place. It's a whole drama thing. Maybe someday when I'm ready to laugh about it, I'll tell the whole story. People in my friends' stories know what happened. Yeah. At the end of it, the good news is the new place is massive upgrade. Love it. Perfect. Already know one of the neighbors. Seems really cool. I just need to get past this part of it.
Yeah.
Anyway. No, also, I'm usually fried. We're both fried. This is going to be an interesting one because, I remember watching this and taking notes. I don't know how my notes were, and I don't remember what happened in it. So this is going to be all an interesting recollection of what.
Perfect. Fever Dream Rod is all we ask for.
Right. Cyclops is Waiting for Me is our bi-weekly podcast series where we're going back and watching every single X-Men animated episode we can find. This podcast started with the original 1992 X-Men, the animated series, building up to the release of X-Men 97. Along the way, we've completed X-Men Evolution and launched our companion interview show, the Xavier Files. And now that we have it confirmed that Season 2 of X-Men 97 will be dropping in 2026, we're dedicating this year to all of Wolverine and the X-Men. I heard an interesting theory from some nerd YouTube about the coordination of X-Men 97 Season 2. It may wait, why? Oh, okay. Sorry. I saw a weird thing on my screen told me to enter my name. That it's a good theory because Doomsday is coming out.
Uh-huh.
Maybe there's going to be some sort of timing of this show is kind of side marketing for that or something, which if that is any truth is not good for it being in the earlier part of the year.
No, that would put it at the end of the year, right?
Yeah, or at least in the middle, if they're trying to pace it out and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
But also, and I think I guess we can talk about this now because Jake actually posted about it on his stories. It was very broad and very vague, but he said you're not ready for Season 3 or something like that.
Oh, I yelled at him for that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I think my reply back to Jake when I saw that post was, "Don't you start."
No, please start. So there will be a smaller gap between Season 2 and 3. Then.
Oh, I know. I just meant him teasing us already on it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. You really do need a drink tonight. Some quick reminders. Yeah. We're a recap show about a series that started over 15 years ago. There are going to be spoilers. If you don't want it spoiled for you, pause the podcast, watch the episode, and come back. We're not currently sponsored or affiliated with Marvel Animation, Disney, or Disney Plus in any way. And we don't have to even say Hulu anymore because now it's combining fully with Disney Plus soon. So
did they
announced
officially announce that?
Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Did they say when?
Soon.
So okay.
I don't have Hulu, so I didn't care enough to dig deeper.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, And don't forget to follow us on social media at Cyclops IWFM Pod on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, Facebook, and TikTok. And like, I don't. Oh, okay. We have technically another week, but I don't know. The government's in chaos. I think they've forgotten about TikTok at this point.
I think they've forgotten about TikTok at this point. Now on to the show. We are talking about season 1, episode 19, titled Guardian Angel. It aired on September 4th of 2009. Sits at an 8.1 star rating on IMDb. This is absolutely one of the episodes that was spoiled because of the thumbnail. There was no way for it not to.
Oh, about what happens.
Yeah.
Like the one thing that happens.
Yeah, the thing that happens. Yes. So, yeah. We were supposed to try to have a guest for it because of the scheduling hell that went through. They were not able to work alongside the schedule that worked for us, so we'll have them in the future. Because we have a buddy who is a Mr. Sinister expert, but unfortunately, life got in the way for the past few weeks for all of us. So
everybody.
Yep. So in the recap, we see the MRD, all the registration stuff, including the raids. You see Warren and his dad fighting. And I'm just going to say Warren referring to Angel and his dad referring to the dad instead of Warren the Third and Warren the Second, just to make stuff easier.
Yeah, I just put dad in for all my notes for Warren Sr.
Mm-hmm. You get that moment between Warren and Beast where it's like, well, I got to... take my stand here, and this is the beginning of the end. And then you get that moment where when Trask and everybody was watching the Sentinel fight going, that Warren, god damn it, that Warren is on screen and his father sees him and tries to hide it from other people. Apparently part of this episode was inspired by the storyline The Cure, which was from the Astonishing X-Men run that Joss Whedon does.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about that run of X-Men in this show or this podcast in general. But also, because I think I blocked out so much of X-Men The Last Stand, I forgot that it was Worthington Industries, who I'm having a rough night, Rod. That in the movie, they were the ones who were coming up with the cure as well because of Warren, the dad, being concerned about his son. So
I just now, as you said that, remembered that's what X3 was about.
Mm-hmm.
And only because of Mystique turning into Rebecca Romaine.
Right.
I don't really remember anything else about that other than Peter Dinklage, maybe? Was that?
No, that was Days of Future Past. That was like a decade later.
Cool. I remember the movies very well.
The Days of Future Past was all right too. It wasn't the mess that X3 was.
I have gone down on record to say that Days of Future Past is my favorite because it undid everything that came before it. Mm-hmm. And then they immediately ruined it, and that's when Apocalypse came out next, right?
Yes, Apocalypse was after that.
Yeah, it then immediately ruined the clean slate they had.
But you could watch the Rogue cut.
I don't know if I ever actually watched the Rogue cut.
I haven't. Maybe when we get to that at our watch along, we watch the Rogue cut instead of the main version of it.
Yeah, sure. Whatever it is, let's do one.
I'm not saying we do both. Definitely don't want to do both. That'd be doing what was the clean version of Deadpool that had the Fred Savage
oh yeah.
Yeah, we weren't going to do that as well. So.
Yeah.
So episode starts off. It's a first person flying through the clouds scenario. And you see the MRD it originally looked like they were flying into the suburbs, and then it's a downtown area, and they're picking up some generic mutant guy and throwing him into the back of one of the MRD vans. I don't know if it was supposed to be. I got the impression that it was Rusty, because when he showed his power later, and is he looks a little bit like adult version of Rusty, the stuff melting off of his hands and stuff like that. There's no confirmation on that. There's nothing about it online, but I got Rusty vibes from it.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I didn't know if it was somebody specific. He just had melting powers, I guess.
Which is why I thought of Rusty, and he had sort of the right hair color for it. So.
Yeah, and then the MRD did not do homework because they put regular handcuffs on him.
Yeah. Angel flies overhead. Colonel Moss is oh yeah, sniper, do your job. And the sniper instantly loses sight of him, so he's probably the worst sniper ever.
all these MRD, or they're kind of like the stormtroopers, it's who are training these people? As or is it training? Is it like the Foot Clan, like in Ninja Turtles,
movie?
where it's like just teenagers and then just throw them on the street?
I don't want to make the super obvious comparison to who I think they are right now, but we're just going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yep. So one of them goes into the back of the car and is just like assaulting this guy, like just like constantly pushing his head down and stuff like that. Tells Moss to start going. They leave like 2 other soldiers behind. And then just from a timing perspective, this will date the episode. The guy starts shooting through the ceiling to try to shoot Angel, ends up shooting through the front and makes the car flip over and stuff like that. It very much reminds me of that scene from Peacemaker Season 2, where the guy is like shooting at random at Peacemaker, and he ends up shooting his own teammate in the head. It very much had that same vibe for me on that one.
That's funny. I haven't seen Peacemaker 2 yet, but I'm looking forward to it. That's funny.
There's so many dicks in the first episode, just warning you.
Cool.
Yep.
Did it just turn into The Boys? Is that what happened?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because so far I've heard is like...
It's only in the first episode.
I mean, technically The Boys, I think it was Season 2, right? In the first episode.
I mean, there's been a lot of everything showing in The Boys, so...
Yeah. But I mean, the first episode of the second season, that's the one where it exploded, right?
No, the explosion was...
Was it Season 3?
The explosion was that Gen V? Oh, no, sorry,
no,
you're right.
The Boys.
No, there was a different... We're going to get back on to the X-Men conversation about this. But the van flips over. Angel helps the guy get out. And in my mind, it's now just Rusty after he gets his cuffs off. And then you see Mr. Sinister, Angel's flying off, and he does the ominous My Angel.
This Sinister and X-Men 97 Sinister are very similar.
In what way?
You know? But they just come out of the dark.
Mm-hmm.
And then present. It was almost identical of when Sinister came out to Madeline to tell her she was Madeline and not Jean Grey.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of like, oh, here I am.
And they don't go like over the top with like the horror side of it, like 92 kind of did with like the fang teeth and stuff like that. It's a little more mad scientist than body horror scientist. So, and it's like, I know it's like a really subtle difference between the two, but like we weren't going to get the obvious joke that the Mr. Sinister action figure gives the accessory for type stuff. So
wait, with
it has the thing that sucks the DNA out of Scott.
Oh,
yeah.
That.
This is how I know Rod is tired. Rod is forgetting our own lore at this point.
Yep. I'm cooked.
Angel flies into the mansion as we come back from the animated intro, his own mansion, not the Xavier mansion, and his dad is waiting for him. He has that whole like sitting in the chair, like waiting for his son to sneak back in. He's like, this needs to stop. We're not having the same conversation over and over again. And he's aware that like now his kid is one of like the vigilantes. And maybe it's just because of the lack of phones and CCTV everywhere that really wasn't a thing in 2009 to the level that it is now, you know?
Did we ever establish how old Angel was? Or roughly? Like he's probably like in his 20s or something, right? I
think we established the majority of the kids were in their 20s was what we were feeling, because Bobby and Kitty are both 18.
Yeah. The thing that's weird though is like it's kind of like the Polaris thing. We don't know how old she is because of how they treated her, but like Angel, he looks like he's like in his 30s, but he's being treated like he's 16 and getting grounded. And his dad looks like he's 85, and everything's really confusing, like where everyone is chronologically.
Yeah, I imagine he's probably like a late 20s is kind of the one I get, and
he's still being grounded.
I mean, if you live at home with your rich parents, well, you don't really have a say, right?
I guess, but he has literal wings.
He does have literal wings, but he still needs the credit card to get through.
I guess.
And then I agree with the whole thing of like, if you're hateful, you age quicker, which is probably why his dad, who's like 50s, 60s, is probably looking like he's in his 70s, 80s.
Yeah, okay, there you go. I like that.
Yep. Also, there's definitely a helicopter overhead right now. He basically fucks off. And then you get a scene with Angel and Storm. I can't remember where I've seen it before, but I've seen like Storm going through the clouds and stuff like that, referred to as like Wind Dancer Storm or something like that. I could be totally making that up, but like they're kind of like ballet in the clouds and going over the water and stuff like that.
It's funny you said wind dancing, because my note was like Storm is cloud dancing. And then I couldn't tell, are they supposed to be a couple? Because
they definitely had flirting vibes.
At that time I thought, but then later she's kind of close to Logan too, so I didn't know if she's just a very kind of touchy-feely loving kind of person in this version.
I don't know. They did the lip touch thing. Like the like dude like, so I definitely got flirting vibes off of that one. So and then here's the thing. I don't understand how flight works with birds and stuff like that. I'm just going to say that one point blank. Like her, it's different because she controls the wind, so you get like more grace for how it's happening. But he's just like going across the water and then just goes perfectly up without even like flapping his wings and stuff like that. And I feel like he should have just crashed directly into the side of the cliff.
You know what? I think this might actually be worth like clipping out and seeing if Tamara wants to like weigh in on this, because I think that, well, the idea of what would it physically look like if a humanoid figure with wings flew, because a bird is different because it's part of like
the bird is in
shape.
place of arms.
But what if you put like wings on like essentially like a ball, like does it fly the same way, like
more like a cone?
Yeah, because even when they showed it later, he's only connected by two very, like, basically, like, it looks like the width of, like, an arm coming out the back, so he's not even, like, coming out of shoulder blades or something like that. It's just, it's like they said later, as an appendage or something. So, I wonder, like, realistically, how would someone like that fly? Obviously, you don't want them to fly realistically because you want to, like, keep up with Storm and stuff. But, like, how would a humanoid person with gigantic wings actually fly? Would it be, like, really clunky?
And then he also, in theory, needs, like, lighter bones to be able to do it, because that's part of why birds are able to fly, because they have very light bones.
Yeah, he just always has broken bones.
He's really useless in a fight.
Okay, that tracks.
So they have a little moment at the top of the cliff with Beast and Wolverine, and they point out that there's the cure that's coming from Worthington Pharmaceuticals, and it's meant to suppress the X gene. And then this time I really disagree with the writing on Wolverine, where he's like, how can a guy hate mutants so much when his kid is one? And it's like, that is the most un-Wolverine thing you could possibly say.
Oh, so
that's almost as bad as Wolverine's ex being like, "You're not the man or you wouldn't have been the man I fell in love with." It's like that level of like, really?
Okay.
Yeah. But Warren is pissed off, and he just is like, "Fuck this! I'm going to deal with this on my own." You jump over, and you find out that Kelly has leaked the news, and that Warren's dad is upset about it, and it's because he's not necessarily worried about it getting done in time. He just doesn't want to deal with the mutants in the time frame before they actually get the cure tested and everything like that. And then Kelly goes like full military with all this. He's like, oh, it's fine. Pretty soon they're all going to be disarmed. I think Kelly has forgotten how dangerous a lot of the mutants are. They're not all just going to voluntarily get disarmed like that,
Unless he planned on, like, I don't know, putting in like the water supply or something.
Even still, like he's putting it out there before it's ready to go. So I'm like, oh, that's a little ballsy. You then get some more back and forth between Warren and his dad. His dad is basically saying like, I'm doing this because I'm trying to help. I want everybody I want you to be normal again, and I'm doing this all for you. And it very much is. It's such a like one-to-one for like the people who are like, oh, you need to go through conversion therapy so you're not gay and stuff like that. It's like it's 100% the same MO for the dad. Like, I love you, but you're wrong and you need to fix it. So It's a really uncomfortable scene. And then he proceeds to tell him that he's not thinking straight, and it's because he's sick. And of course, Warren walks out with his wings on full display through the lobby of people because it's like, whatever, I'm just gonna burn this fucking place down, essentially, at this point.
So at that point, I was just like, was that him kind of coming out? I mean, obviously not to like the big public, but to the employees, that must have been a surprise, right?
Yeah,
because he hadn't done that before, right, in the show.
Yeah, I definitely got the vibe that this was his first time, like, doing this in such a public setting, like, and not even trying to hide that it's it's Worthington's kid doing it. So
yeah,
yep. The dad calls Colonel Moss because that's the smartest thing to do when your son has just outed himself as a mutant, and they decide to chase him with a helicopter, and then Moss's intention is to kill Angel. And the way this fight breaks out very quickly, like, he had no intention of him surviving, right?
Yeah, and especially the conversation had a little bit later. But it was the one I know this came out in like 2010 or something, but like this had a very like 90s like weapon thing, because it was that ball net thing that you thought was just going to catch him, but then it also had like knockout gas.
Yes. Well, everything has knockout gas in this show. Fucking ninja stars have knockout gas in this show.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
But yeah, they have like rocket launchers, but the rocket launchers are literally just tied to a net. They're in like, are they like bolos? Is that what they are? Like when the strings and the balls wrap around and stuff. So those, along with the net, had the gas in them and stuff like that. And then he falls from an absurdly high like elevation. Like, he should be dead.
I guess that also like kind of fits the theory that mutants in this universe are just stronger. So it took,
or it's a part of his mutant powers or something. Yeah. But he falls. He falls so hard, lands, and I was like, oh, okay, that's how they're going to destroy his wings. Because in the comics, his wings were destroyed in the mutant massacre, where the Morlocks get massacred by Sinister's marauders. So it's like, it's a mutilation thing, and it was like, well, they're not going to show formal mutilation here. They'd showcase the injury, and just based on how he was landed, it was like, oh yeah, he's fucked right now. So
I don't think I was ready for him to injure his wings. I think it's because I mostly just watched the animated stuff, and the only time I saw something happen to his wings was in the movie when they showed the young Warren trying to shave him down,
right,
and things. But I just assumed that no one in this universe breaks bones. And like, just that's how it is.
Well, except for Colonel Moss, who had his arm in a sling from the accident from flipping over the truck earlier.
Yeah, well, I guess I mean mutants. They storms falling from about that height, stuff, and like I
don't know. This feels like the biggest fall. Like, this thing was like fucking flight elevation, Yeah,
well, I guess they also didn't have like Bolo rocket launcher knockout gas either.
Yeah. So it comes back as Warren is regaining consciousness. His dad is yelling at Moss, and to your point, Moss is like, well, you should have told us you were being dishonest. My bad.
That was a bad on the dad's part, yeah, to not at least not say like, don't use anything lethal. He was just like, go get him.
There's no scenario where that is not a lethal force, Like, what was he gonna? What else was he gonna do at that point? It's like, you're chasing him in the air. Unless you wait for him to be on the ground, he's gonna get seriously hurt and or die at that point. So,
yeah. Well, I just mean the instructions in general. Like, I don't know what his dad thought he was gonna do. Like, just go like pull him into a van or something. Like, But just he was going after his son. He didn't want his son to be killed, but he didn't tell the guy going after his son not to kill him. From a guy who normally kills mutants that he finds, like, it was
or maims and beats the shit out of him as he's in the process of capturing him. Yeah, exactly. And then the Doctor comes in, which I do love. Nolan North, who is also the voice of Cyclops, is also the Doctor.
Oh, nice.
AKA also the voice of Deadpool. And it's just like, Nolan is, I think, the third most voices in the entire show from an episode perspective. I think it's literally Wolverine's voice actor, Xavier's voice actor, and then Nolan is like the number 3 between all his split characters. So,
oh gosh.
Yep. Which makes sense because in 2009, Nolan was like the hottest shit for voice acting, so it totally makes sense that you would exploit that contract,
Mm-hmm.
But the Doctor is like, yeah, I'm gonna have to bring in a bird specialist to fix the wings.
Which is a wild statement to make.
Mm-hmm.
Like it would be normal. I guess they dealt with that before.
Or the guy is just like, I don't know, what's the smartest option I have right now, basically. Yeah. Also, if a bird shatters their wings like that, can that be fixed at that level? Like, those things weren't even like close to touching anymore.
Yeah, it just looked like a bunch of like beads or something in his wing.
Yeah, it looks like somebody took a hammer to it.
Because I don't know if it's just because they're small animals and stuff, but I feel like when I was a kid and like my godmother or something would find like a bird with a broken wing, they would just put it to sleep. I don't know if it was able to be helped, because like it can't fly, and once it spends that much time with humans, like it can't like really reassimilate with. Maybe that's more of the issue. It can't reassimilate with their kind and stuff. But I don't know what you would do. Yeah, for like because his wings are more than him.
Yes.
What would an avian specialist do there? It's like, well, normally we wrap it up with a twig or something, but I don't know what we do here.
Normally we would just break its neck.
Yeah. Normally we'd feed it to a coyote, so...
Oh, the rural areas of the country. It's like those videos on like Instagram or TikTok where it's like, oh, look, we just saved the bird, and then they throw it out the window and a cat immediately catches it as it goes.
After college, my very first like kind of pet was, I had a pet mouse. I got from I didn't find him, like I got him from the pet store and stuff. But the reason I got a pet mouse was because I was working like 80 hours a week, and I knew I wanted a pet, but I worked too much to be able to take care of like a cat or something. And those only live a couple of years. So his name was Sparky. When Sparky passed, I was like, well, I guess I'll just bury him I lived in an apartment complex, but we had like some woods in the back. So I just like decided like I was gonna bury him, and like he was in a little box next to me, and when I opened the box, that exact thing had a cat. It was like, meow. And I was like, well, I tried, and that was it. Like the cat must have been sitting there for the watching me.
So the X-Men equivalent for this would be the Doctor puts Warren down, and then as they're like getting ready to bury him, Sabretooth just comes by and snags him and runs off with him in his jaw.
Yeah.
But yeah, the dad says remove them because that's responsible.
Which is
coming
heinous.
Oh, so heinous.
Oh my god.
Yep. Because he thinks he's doing the right thing is his excuse, of course. Come back from the commercial break and you just hear a screaming Warren, as is expected from this. And as his dad arrives, somehow he was able to sedate him. And I'm assuming that was because Warren was strapped to the bed face down because he's technically in police custody also. So he just stabbed him with something to knock him out. And
tranked him.
Yeah, did something to do that. And then the Doctor is like, yeah, you're going to need a therapist for both of you.
Both.
And it's also like, you were complicit because you also chose to be a part of this process of removing the wings too. Like, you're not in the clear right now, dude.
I like that the Doctor pointed out. I was like, that was kind of fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do
But he still did it. The Doctor still fucking did it, though.
Well, I gotta get it because, it's like next of kin or whatever and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, yeah, I don't
know. No. But yeah, he's like, yeah, you probably shouldn't go in there. Inside the room, you hear Sinister's voice calling for him, and he's saying that he could be there and he could help. And then, like you were saying, with the 97 Sinister, he just kind of like slides into the room from the shadows and stuff like that. And he's like, yep, I could restore what's been taken from you. And I love that he started out by introducing himself by his like legal name and not by starting with Sinister. Like, he actually says, my name is Nathaniel Essex.
Yeah, because I appreciate that because if normally it would be in a cartoon or animated thing, somebody would be like, can I trust you? Well, my name is Mr. Sinister.
So obviously you can trust me with a name like Sinister. Yep.
And my description here was Sinister haunts Warren. I think that's the best thing I could think of, like how he appears. He comes out of the shadows. He's just kind of, even the way he talks, he's like, hello.
Which is just Clancy Brown's voice. Like, don't get me wrong, incredibly talented guy. He's just being Clancy Brown in this voice acting role right now. They went in and they were like, "Oh, so what's the instruction? Talk." That's all it was.
It was like
just talk.
It's like Christopher Walken. It's like Christopher Walken, like Aquafina. They're just like, or I guess Chris Pratt would just be Chris Pratt for some reason.
And he's like, "Oh, good. You know who I am, so you know that I can fulfill on whatever I promise." And you just only need to ask me. And then he fucks off, basically. But also, Warren's manacles are unhooked too in that time frame. Now that you say the haunting thing, it's very much like supernatural, like haunting. Like it's not quite like Christmas Carol, but it's there's something about it that seems like uneasy about it. You know,
I get what you mean. Yeah, Christmas Carol is like he's like one of the like ghosts of Christmas,
but like a bad version of all of it. Yeah,
like temptation. I don't know, because it's kind of Christmas Carol with like a monkey's paw story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, the cuffs are off, so Warren is able to get out, and he goes straight to the X Mansion, and there Wolverine comes in where Beast and Storm are looking after him. And he's like, "How's he doing?" And it's like, how the fuck do you think he's doing right now?
Yeah, right.
And then the most awkward phrase of the entire episode. "Do you think they'll grow back?"
I like, Beast was trying to be nice. He's like, "Perhaps, but they're like your arms."
Yeah. And also, your mutation isn't that you're a lizard. Like,
yeah.
Like, they're...
I guess...
they're... Yeah.
I think, to Beast's credit, maybe his thing was like, listen, none of us really know how any of us work, so maybe.
Yeah.
But from what we know, probably not.
Yeah. Yeah, there was something about it, because, you even referenced, the movie version of Warren who was, like, shaving his wings down, and they kept coming back and stuff like that. So maybe they were going off of the fact that had come out, and people were able to play off of that. Maybe that's why. But it felt like when he was like, "Sure," it was just like, you're just really upset right now, and I don't want to make this that much worse. But I also don't want to full on say yes and give you all the false hope in the world either. So, yeah. But, and then he basically is like, "Well, it's fine. I know somebody who could fix it." And they're like, "Okay, well, sarcastic Wolverine, who's the magician that you're talking about?" And then he says it's Sinister, and everybody loses their shit, understandably so.
Yeah, I think he even says like Essex, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "Oh my god!" Like,
You see, presumably the next day, Storm is like watering plants, and everybody looks from like a window to that one bench. Why is that bench is the most pivotal spot in the entire show? I feel like we're gonna find out that whatever caused the big fucking explosion that started the season off happened at that bench. I feel like
probably
that bench is a nexus point.
Because it's next to the shore that we don't know where it is in the middle of New York.
Yes. Yeah, the one that definitely doesn't exist in White Plains. But she sees Warren there. He, of course, sees seagulls, and they're flying freely. She looks down for a second, and then when she looks back up, he's gone. So,
I thought he jumped.
You thought he went for it?
They were implying. I thought somebody were implying he was like, "Can't do this." Because he can't fly anymore.
It kind of gave that vibe, but they had the quick cut to where he actually was. But I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
He's like, "Fuck this," and then he just lands in water.
Yeah, because they already did the kind of the horrific thing about cutting off his wings. Even though we didn't see it, we heard his reaction. It was, really unsettling.
Mm-hmm. And then we have naked Warren face down on a table.
Oh, I didn't put that together. Yeah, because
he was naked.
But
they had the metal thing covering his ass, but there is literally no indication that man had clothes on.
This supports my theory of what Sinister takes from some of these mutants. And a bag. What the very next scene doesn't help the cause. It does go into his spine. I did recognize that.
It does go into the spine.
Very liquid.
Sinister says he's going to awaken a new man, and then you're literally seeing fluids pumped into his back and shoulders. So,
yeah, watch it come from Cyclops. But you know what's interesting? That machine looks very similar to the one in '92. So, like the big ball with
the cure machine. Yeah. So Apocalypse's cure machine. Yes.
Apocalypse's. Sorry.
Yeah.
So it kind of like now I kind of wonder if that's how the '92 machine was supposed to work. It was going to be like exchanging fluids or something through all like the different tentacle things or something.
And they just couldn't show it because censors in '92 are like, fuck no, this is a kid's show, you psychopaths.
They're like, later in the season we already have this like thing that's clearly going to suck his penis, so we can't do this as well.
Thank God I mark our podcast as adult content, just because there's always one comment like this in every episode.
Just one.
There's at least one in every episode.
Yeah.
Yep. But then you see like kind of like the fades, and then he comes back, and you start to see like a total blue hue across his skin and stuff like that. And then he's just kind of like standing there with just a silhouette without his wings showing, which gave me the impression the wings popped out of his back fully, like it was like a cocoon kind of vibe.
And they're metal.
Yes. And that's where Sinister for the first time refers to him as his Archangel, and you see the Sinister diamond on his forehead. So this version of Archangel has nothing to do with Apocalypse and Death and the Four Horsemen and all that kind of stuff. So
I didn't even put together that this wasn't Apocalypse. I'm like melding those two in my head for this one, since he's messing with Warren.
Well, especially because there are times where Sinister is the lackey for Apocalypse and stuff like that. But yeah, I think we're gonna get through this season without any mention of Apocalypse, or that's going to be the awful cliffhanger at the end. Then apparently they didn't want to pay for Emma's voice actor for the episode, because you just see the image of Emma Frost, and Wolverine walks out. Wolverine says that Warren is headed to Worthington Pharmaceuticals, and that he knows that he did a stop on the way. So it took them that long for Emma to find him, that he had the whole surgical procedure done that quickly. Which is literally like,
it was hard, right?
I guess. I don't know, she's supposed to be a world-class telepath. And then to go with the theme of the episode, we see DNA sequencing happening.
Yeah, and it was a very once again, I know this was in the 2010s, but or late 2000s, but it had that Y2K vibe where it was like part of the DNA was like glitching. Yes,
and they were showcasing that the legacy cure, which I love, just they use legacy so much in the X-Men, like one of the big viruses is the legacy virus and stuff like that. And it's full-blown propaganda of like, look, our cure literally fixes your DNA like this. So, yeah, like showcasing it as a glitch. So it's, a glitch, not a feature kind of vibes to it. Yeah. And Kelly loves it. He wants to come in. He wants to do a tour of the facility. And then Warren's dad is obviously like kind of distracted and stuff like that. And then Kelly makes a cripple joke. He's like, what? It's not like he could get that far. Like, are you serious, dude? That... Yeah. I mean, it's not shocking because it's, a bigot making a joke like that is so on brand for what this is. But that's when Archangel, flies through the windows. And then... Yeah,
I like the silhouette. That's when I realized they were like in a skyscraper. Because I didn't really... I didn't get a sense that they were up like high anywhere.
And then through the video conferencing, Kelly sees that this is all going on, and Angel destroys the TV. I love the early teleconferencing aspect of this, because it's just assumed that the TV is also controlling the camera, and there's not like a separate, like the little TV or the little cameras on the the desk or the table or anything like that. It's just if you blow up the TV, everything else is fucked. So.
Yeah, what was that called? Polycom?
Yes.
The old school conferencing.
Yep. And then Warren just full on flips the conference table, which those things are fucking heavy, so that's pretty impressive. And then he spikes his dad to the wall because they're going with the this version where the feathers, so to speak, are like little blades that could be shot out and stuff like that, which I do remember was one of the action features of the original toy too. Yeah, they were like the two little nubs that pushed out of the top of it. I remember that.
Yeah, they were more like mini missiles than knives, but I do remember liking that action figure.
Yeah, they were like half missiles, totally. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know why they didn't, but like I kind of want to see the boys' version of that because he just would have like killed him and like pinned him against the wall. Because he already hated he hated him enough. I didn't get a sense that Warren loved his dad at all.
Especially no, definitely felt fully betrayed by him and stuff. Totally. Although I do think he wouldn't have killed him that quick, only because his plan is I want you to see your legacy burn. In the mature version of it, I do think it's you watch your legacy burn and then I kill you.
And then kill you.
Yeah. So I don't think he would have still killed him that fast.
He destroyed that lab in record time. He must also be a speedster.
Or his dad has a really, really slow elevator. Because Warren goes out the window, goes into one a few floors below. His dad gets out of the elevator, is walking around. Of course, there is a literal sign on the ground that is destroyed and it just says lab. Just in case you weren't sure, he's in the lab.
Yeah.
And he, to your point, he's decimated this entire thing. I want to imagine he just like spun in the center and just shot all the little like wing knives just all over the place. Oh, and then he's basically his dad runs to the vault where presumably that's where all the vials of this thing were, because nobody had hard drives that they shared to a cloud at this point to be able to recreate everything. And Warren basically tells him to say goodbye to his legacy. Great double entendre there. And then his dad tries to lock himself into the vault. And this is where, like, sometimes I warn you about audio, and I forgot to do it on this one. I figured if Lucy was in the room hearing the scratching of the wings against the metal vault, that would drive her insane.
So I have to watch this on my computer now because like weird stuff with Disney Plus. For some reason, Disney Plus specifically on computers is like obscenely quiet. I've like looked up people having the same problem, so maybe it didn't bother. But so they probably you're right. They probably for the Foley probably like scraped metal.
It was an awful noise. Yeah. We get the Blackbird arriving, and we find out that the MRD are 7 minutes out. And it happens when there's only 5 minutes left in the episode, so obviously we're safe that that's not going to cross over. And Storm wants to reason with him. Wolverine is not down for that and doesn't even let Storm have the first shot at it. Like, he's like, he's already changed. It's like, you haven't even seen him yet, dude.
I kind of wonder if that was supposed to be like Logan being oblivious to Storm and Angel's romance. Something to him is kind of random.
But also him going right to like, let's just fight, as opposed to like trying to reason with him. Especially after his moment earlier in the episode where he's like, I don't get why this guy would hate mutants when his kid is one. Yeah. It's like he has more faith in the shitty guy than he did in his own buddy. Like, I guess because his buddy went and did something really stupid without him, that he doesn't trust his judgment. But they also don't know what Sinister has even done to Warren at this point either.
Yeah, we don't really know. Yeah. Even though we saw it, they didn't really explain much. He just turned blue and evil.
Yeah, he's blue with metal wings. That's all we know at this point. Wolverine doesn't want to go in with anybody and just ends up getting in there just in time as Angel is able to get into the vault. Logan tackles him. And then they have kind of the whole, like, I've been where you are, I've been turned into a weapon. And I don't know, man. The argument here just didn't... There's something about this version of Logan where he's, like, trying to be purer than he really is. I don't know. There's something about this episode that didn't hit with me the right way. I don't know. And then for my notes about the fight, I just put metal fight, because that was the consistent part of it. And then eventually Storm makes her way in through a sunroof, I guess. I don't know how the positioning that she flew in did not make sense considering they were on another floor for this thing. Basically, she's saying, this isn't you. This isn't what you would do. Warren is, saying it's over. Everything's changed. We can't go back to the way that it used to be. And, they're trying to talk him down. And then it seems like they're about to convince him, and the sinister diamond goes off and he screams no and goes back to trying to fight him again. And Storm responds by doing what she probably should have done at the beginning, which is zap him with lightning.
I'm so glad they didn't use the Halle Berry line, because everything else was identical to sapping Toad.
The dad asks if Warren is okay. Wolverine obviously is like, how do you think he is? Which that felt more like Wolverine. Yeah. And then Storm absolutely fires back on him too. Basically like, dude, this is your fucking fault scenario.
Yeah, because the dad's like, well, you can't pin this on me. And she's like, literally, you started all this.
Yeah, this is everything about this is your fault. And then, in addition to being a guy with giant metal wings, he apparently has been given stealth capabilities because he's able to get up, walk out, not be heard with his giant metal wings getting up. I did appreciate that Storm is like, can you track him? And they made sure to add that Sinister made sure he left no scent behind so he couldn't track him from a smell perspective. Because this episode or this series has done a lot with the whole can you track by smell scenario. So
yeah, that's right. So no smell ghosts or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or so you're thinking about him
smell
getting away. Yeah, it goes back to my theory of he's a speedster in this version because he just zips away when nobody's looking.
Yeah. And then, it's kind of like the dejected dad who's like, shit, I don't know what I did here. Storm is at the bench and they're watching the birds. And it's it's okay, we're gonna get him back. And then we end on one of the sour note episodes with this, because Warren's dad is basically saying, I'm out to Kelly. And Kelly's like, cool, even if you are out, it doesn't matter. We already got all the shit we needed from you. So when we win, you're still going to be celebrated as one of the reasons for it, whether or not you want it. Which I guess was it's poetic in that it's even if you did see the light, you caused too much trouble for everybody. You kind of fucked it all up. So
that's kind of like the Oppenheimer thing, right? Regardless of if you change your mind,
no matter what, this is still your fault. Yeah.
And I guess specific to Marvel, was it Phastos in Eternals? In that version of the MCU, he created nuclear power or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I still have not gone and rewatched that scene because I got up to use the restroom during that scene. Really? You told me what happened when I came back, and I said, okay. I own it on Blu-ray, and I've still not rewatched the damn thing.
It's pretty heartbreaking. For as much crap as that movie gets, which I totally get, that was Phastos was one of the better characters, and him in the middle of a nuclear wasteland, knowing he's responsible for the humans' nuclear war is the heavy scene.
But yeah, that was the episode. Like I said, there have been a few things about the writing of the characters that I've not loved, but I thought the use of Sinister to bring Archangel into it, especially if we're not going to get an Apocalypse in this series, I thought that was all pretty solid. And I feel like had they gotten a second season, there were definitely more plans for Angel on this,
Yeah, because since he's Archangel now.
And then I didn't think about it until literally as I was saying it. Angel's in the lineup at the beginning of the episode in the animated intro, right?
I've totally forgot about the intro because I always skip it. I should probably watch it next time.
Yeah, now I'm going to, because that'll be interesting if they pulled him out of the intro, which I doubt they did, or if they're still just showing Angel in there, because we do know in the comics, there have been moments where he is able to switch back into being, regular, not blue-skinned Archangel. There's different variations of like how the powers work and stuff like that. But I don't think we're going to get anywhere near that level of detail. And only this is 19, so 7 episodes left for this series.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, unless they do something weird like Rogue takes away enough of it, or something strange like that.
Yeah, it turns Rogue blue.
Yeah. But just
that has happened in something. I'm not making that up. I think has genuinely happened at some point. So
I think we saw it in 92, right, when she turned into like half lizard for a second. Oh, that's a whole other thing. That was they turned her. Okay, sorry, I'm getting.
No, that was the Cody thing where she turned into the half lizard thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't, dude. Here's the problem. They all start to blend in with each other after not having watched one for like 3 years, and then also reading comics on top of all of it. So, yeah. Right now in the comics, it's about to kick off a story called Age of Revelation, I believe, and that is kind of like a alternate future scenario of like 10 years in the future where everything has gone bad and what that looks like. So it's like pseudo Age of Apocalypse vibes, but it's not the Xavier died apocalypse story scenario. So
gotcha.
Yeah. And then I guess from one of the stories, the last Wolverine, meaning like Wolverine's last student, is a Wendigo too.
Wendigo?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect. This show's been all over the place, especially this one. Went darker. I did appreciate getting darker, like because it made me feel unsettled. Maybe that's just because I'm moving, but like when the scene with Warren screaming when his wings got cut off, they didn't show it, but you still kind of felt the unsettledness. Like, how so messed up. I was like telling someone like, yeah, you broke your arm, they're just gonna cut it off.
And then Warren's voice actor is the same voice actor as Nightcrawler too. Both of them are Liam O'Brien, who I had in a previous episode accidentally said was Magneto's voice actor, which was not accurate. But it's like you have two very, very sad characters traditionally from the same voice actor, which is pretty wild.
Wow.
So, and one of them is a very rich white blonde man, and the other one is a very blue German man. So, but yeah, I don't have a lot else to say. I mean, we did still go 55 minutes on the episode, so it is a full episode for those who put up with our shit. But yeah, I think that's everything for me, Rod. Closing thoughts?
Yeah, no, it's an interesting chapter. We all will see if we see Archangel again. It was interesting take, because it's weird because like it's not necessarily the most unique like version of it, but just the way it was executed was kind of interesting, like how dark it got and everything.
Right. So. Yeah, because they couldn't show the real version, but they needed to do something that was more impactful than the I'm signing up for it just because I want to be different, like they did in 92. So
yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, everybody, if you have any thoughts, make sure you drop them into the comments for either the YouTube upload, the Spotify upload, or the official Instagram post of this episode. And if you like what you heard, please give us a rating on the podcast app of your choosing. Actually, do it on all of them if you don't mind. We're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, YouTube Podcasts, and CastBox. And hopefully, by the time we record the next episode, our lives will be less busy and traumatic. That's something to hope for, right? I know I just jinxed it.
Next week. I was going to say, stay tuned next week, see what's wrong with me then.
Pretty much.
Where's my mouse?